Good afternoon, everybody. We are very excited to be here for the very last step in a decade-long process that we are very excited about and very proud of the work that we've completed together. I want to welcome our friends and partners from the Providence City Council, Council President Rachel Miller, who we'll hear from in a second, Councilman Pichardo, Councilman Goncalves, Councilman Espinal. We're going to hear in a little bit from Michael Gazdacko, who's the chair of the City Plan Commission, also celebrated a birthday yesterday. Our Deputy Director of Planning, Bob Azar, who put a lifetime worth of work into the last 10 years. And then Siobhan Callahan from WBNA, along with many, many other community partners who made this happen. So welcome, everybody. This is, in fact, a very exciting day for Providence. After years of thoughtful planning and robust community engagement, we are now codifying the once-in-a-decade opportunity to shape the future of our city. In an era of complex challenges, a well-crafted plan is our strongest foundation. This comprehensive plan came together under the incredible team of city planners and members of my administration who collected more than 2 years' worth of input from our neighbors, business groups, community groups, local stakeholders, and city councilmen. Our plan provides a blueprint for a vibrant, resilient Providence that offers opportunities for everyone while addressing the most critical challenge we face, not just here in Providence, but on a national scale as well. Like many other cities, Providence is experiencing a severe shortage of affordable housing. This crisis affects everyone, individuals, families, employers, and sectors of all corners of our economy. In response, my administration and our city together has made targeted investments into the Affordable Housing Trust and allocated millions of dollars to support emergency shelter beds for our most vulnerable residents. We've taken proactive measures to promote housing development citywide. We've adopted new zoning regulations that allow for construction of smaller lots to streamline city review processes, and we're creating more housing opportunities while promoting sustainable growth. This comprehensive plan enables us to accelerate our efforts in all of those ways, while still balancing our need for housing development and laying the groundwork to mitigate the impacts of climate change, improve our green spaces, and preserve our neighborhood character. For that reason, we're looking forward to gathering together here today in the WBNA's new ADU. The building behind us, which we actually cut the ribbon on this summer, showcases what WBNA has done and what we hope to happen as a result of this comprehensive plan throughout the city. One more unit in corners throughout this city will make a meaningful difference. WBNA in particular is a vital partner to our work, the West Broadway Neighborhood Association. They have organized their neighborhood. They have brought their voices forward saying that we want more housing, especially indeed restricted affordable housing for those most in need. We want vibrant commercial corridors full of successful small businesses like just around the corner on Westminster Street. We want safer streets and more convenient ways to get around without a car. And we recognize the need for more housing and upzoning while also preserving the beautiful buildings and neighborhood fabric that make Providence unique. Our plan legalizes accessory dwelling units like the one behind us now by right. It allows for various types of missing middle type housing. It expands areas where small apartment buildings are permitted, addresses our housing shortage head on, while expanding historic preservation efforts and establishing new design standards. These changes are designed to alleviate the market pressures and ensure that individuals and families at every income level can secure a safe, high-quality home right here in Providence. And while addressing housing is essential, our vision for Providence goes beyond that. Our success will depend on how well we leverage our unique strengths, the arts, design, life sciences, healthcare, and green industries, while adapting to changing times. Shifting retail trends, evolving workspaces, and emerging technologies require us to be both resilient and forward-thinking. This comprehensive plan provides the framework to meet those challenges head-on as well. We all know that Providence is facing climate challenges, as we witness firsthand the impacts. Just last summer, most of us will recall, we were having some of the greatest flooding in our lifetime. This year, a year later, For the first time in decades, we have wildfires in the city of Providence. That's what climate change looks like. Extremes at both ends. And we're seeing it happen in real time. This plan addresses some of the steps that we can take. It's a call to action, urging us to protect our city, our people, and our cultural treasures from these growing threats. The sustainability chapter in particular outlines crucial steps to protect our environment and promote public health. By advocating for cleaner industrial practices, supporting air quality monitoring, and prioritizing resources for frontline neighborhoods, the plan underscores our commitment to environmentally responsible and just growth. We've also ensured that in this plan that Providence becomes a more accessible city by making it safer and more convenient to move around Providence by alternative modes of transportation. I see leadership here from the AARP. It's important to us that we make this a city that's accessible for those with mobility challenges, for older residents, and indeed for everyone. By promoting equitable economic development and job creation, by supporting and preserving cultural assets that celebrate Providence's diversity, together we have developed a plan that is certain to improve the quality of life, prosperity, and comfort for all of our community. The success upon this comprehensive plan depends on all of us here today. As I mentioned earlier, I want to give special recognition and deep gratitude to our Deputy Director of Planning, Bob Azar. If we could give Bob a round of applause. And his partner in crime, our Community Planning Manager, Tim Shea. Clearly a fan favorite.
Yes.
These two individuals, along with an entire team of professionals in the city, spearheaded this work. Community meetings, how many, Tim? Over 90, but who's counting? Over 90 community meetings spanning multiple years. Our city council leaders who are here with us today, we've also been joined by Councilman Vargas. Thank you for joining us. They hosted their own community meetings. They came to our community meetings, neighborhood associations. There has never been more community engagement than a plan, than in this comprehensive plan, and that is why we are so excited that not only is it an excellent plan, but that it will be embraced and it will be used. I want to thank City Plan Commission Chairman Michael Gazdacko, because the next steps fall somewhat on him. I want to welcome a couple other folks who are here today who've been a big part of this. I mentioned Catherine Taylor from AARP, Dominique from the Central Providence Health Equity Zone, Helen Baskerville-Dukes from Mount Hope Community Center, Brenda Clement and Melina Lodge from Housing Works and the Housing Network, local developers including Seth Zarin and Michelle Blau, advocates from the Providence Urbanist Network and the Streets Coalition. Their efforts, combined with the individual input of thousands of community members, have resulted in a plan that is reflective of a shared vision for a vibrant, equitable, and resilient Providence. The signing of this historic comprehensive plan is not just ceremonial. Today, we reaffirm our commitment to collaboration, progress, and action. Together, we will ensure that Providence remains a city of opportunity, creativity, and promise for generations to come. Thank you. I would now like to welcome to the podium Council President Rachel Miller. The City Council has made one of their hallmarks, this City Council has made one of their hallmarks, public access and transparency. With multiple public hearings in addition to all the community engagement, while there were negotiations behind the scene, I can say clearly that this is a better plan as a result of the compromises and agreements that we made. I'm so grateful for her partnership and for the City Council more broadly for embracing this plan with us together, and would invite Rachel to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor Smiley, and welcome everyone. Thank you to my colleagues who are joining us today. Really welcome to everyone. This is a huge day for the City of Providence. We are celebrating a comprehensive plan that was shaped by thousands of voices, right, guided by the experience of city residents and driven by the urgent needs to meet the challenges our city faces. We heard over 90 community meetings. We had meetings in all 15 wards, 5 public hearings, over 200 letters just through the public hearing process alone. The plan we're solidifying today is so rooted in the voices and collaboration and needs of our residents. I also want to add my thanks to Bob Azar and Tim Shea You have created the path to have more input in any comprehensive plan by far in the city of Providence, so thank you.
Woo.
And I am especially excited that we're here today in Ward 13 with the West Broadway Neighborhood Association. So not only is the remodeled ADU behind us a kind of picture of what could come and could make a very strong impact, this neighborhood came out for the comprehensive plan input, right? We had like hundreds and I would say nearly 1,000 residents participated either online or in community meetings, in large part because of the way that the West Broadway neighborhood led with a vision that said, yeah, we do. We need more housing. We need more access. We need more street-friendly, vibrant community corridors. So thank you, WBNA, and everyone across the city who participated. Throughout the entire comprehensive plan process, right, the call from our neighborhoods was clear. Providence needs a 10-year vision that reflects these voices, the voices, the struggles, the aspirations of working people who make Providence a wonderful place. And thanks to the collaboration between each council member and Mayor Smiley, this plan truly does that. It's a plan for families who are worried about making rent each month, for young people who have concerns about being priced out of the neighborhoods they grew up in, for new immigrants who want to build prosperous futures for their children, for communities who have been suffocated for decades by pollution and environmental hazards, for union and community members and all workers in the city of Providence, for people who rely on public transit and want more places to feel confident and safe as they walk and ride, and for everyone that calls Providence home. The plan is bold because it has to be, right? Our city has seen the highest rent increases in the country, with housing costs untenable for residents across all income brackets. Our state has the highest asthma rates nationwide for childhood asthma. Our number of unhoused residents has grown year after year. And Providence is growing, and we are all here to celebrate that growth, but we're also here to celebrate a plan that makes sure that everyone gets to grow alongside with Providence. This plan meets this moment with action and people-first solutions to address the issues facing and impacting city residents. Everyone in Providence deserves a safe and stable place to call home. This plan will help us get there. One of the most transformative elements of the plan is the use of inclusionary zoning, which creates affordability alongside market rate units, which can create vibrant mixed income developments across the city. I want to thank Mayor Smiley, especially for all parts of the plan, but especially for working with the council to include language on inclusionary zoning. If we're serious about stopping the cycle of displacement, and I know we are, we have to work together to make affordability the rule and not the exception. To clear the way for smarter growth, we've also set a course to reduce and eliminate parking minimums where it makes sense, where it's reasonable, and where it will help foster increased growth and development. We've made a commitment in this plan to protect and advocate for unhoused residents with humanity and care, not neglect or unnecessary punishment. And we've put environmental justice front and center. So from challenging polluting industries that have endangered Southside residents to embedding climate resilience into the fabric of all city projects. And we recognize that there's more work to be done here, right? We've heard loud and clear from advocates demanding bolder action at the port for cleaner air, public health, and a future that's sustainable for all of us, and they're right. As we move forward with updating the zoning ordinance and working with the CPC and what will come before council, we'll be working with everyone impacted, right? With residents, with businesses, with workers, with all partners together to get very specific about how we can ensure new businesses at the port are clean, are green, are providing excellent career opportunities for city residents, and to ensure that the city is doing its part to turn around decades of environmental racism and move towards transformative change, not just at the port, but citywide. It's a plan that envisions a Providence where working families can thrive, where our young people can build their futures, and where our communities, the heart of what makes Providence such an incredible city to live, grows stronger and grows together. The plan is a vision for a city that fights for its people. So thank you, Mayor Smiley. Thank you for investing in this work together. I know that we both know that the work doesn't stop here. And now we need to work together with everyone who's here today and many people who aren't to make this vision a reality. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam President. Next, I'd like to invite up to the podium the Chair of the City Plan Commission, Michael Gazdacko. We depend in many aspects of city life on talented, dedicated volunteers. Volunteers who spend their time because they care about their community for no pay, after hours, and sometimes long meetings. And chairing the CPC for many years now is Michael Gazdacko, who helped bring us to this process today, and I want to thank him for his incredible hard work. And for his birthday yesterday, we've given him a comprehensive plan.
Hello, everyone. I am Michael Gazdacko, the Chair of the City Plan Commission. The City Plan Commission serves as a steward of Providence's future, ensuring that our development and growth align with the vision, values, and needs of our community. Our primary responsibility in reviewing the comprehensive plan is to guarantee it reflects a balanced approach to growth, economic development, environmental sustainability, equity, and cultural preservation. For the next 10 years, this comprehensive plan will shape our decisions on land use, transportation, housing, and economic initiatives directly impacting the quality of life for all Providence residents. As a commission, we prioritize transparency and welcome input from residents, businesses, and stakeholders. Public engagement is essential to ensuring the plan resonates with the diverse needs of Providence. I want to give out a big shout out to the planning staff. I'm not the first, I won't be the last, I'm sure. Tim Shea, who held so many well-organized meetings. I attended quite a few, and they were very impressive. The focus grew from stage to stage based on community input, and it had been gathered at the previous stages. So thank you, Tim. We've also worked closely with city staff this year to review public feedback and integrate it meaningfully into the plan. I've heard from most people, now that the plan is in final form, that they like the plan a lot, but some say it didn't go far enough here. Others say that it went too far there. No one once has told me that there wasn't a time or a way to get involved or be heard. So that is something to be proud of. But my thought in this is that if no one got everything they wanted, but they can live with this plan, I think that's a pretty good, fair plan that we could publish today. Our role as commissioners is to critically assess the comprehensive plan to ensure it aligns with state and local regulations, while also being ambitious in addressing the city's challenges and opportunities. We review data, proposals, and projections to ensure that the plan is both visionary and realistic, guiding sustainable growth for the city. As a body, we hold the responsibility of approving the comprehensive plan and ensuring that it's an actionable framework that will guide local decisions over the next decade. But no sooner have we gotten through this Herculean effort, the next significant lift needs to occur. Crafting the zoning laws that will be in compliance with this document and will outline and guide the development over the next decade. The CPC's work on the comprehensive plan reflects our commitment to creating a Providence that thrives for all of its residents, for today and for generations to come. This is a collaborative effort that depends on the dedication of our volunteer city plan commissioners. There are a few here today, so let's give them a round of applause. Here in Providence, we are incredibly fortunate to continue this work with the partnership of Mayor Smiley and the Providence Department of Planning and Development, who have been exemplary leaders in developing thoughtful, inclusive, and robust civic engagement throughout this process. Now, there's not enough I can say about Deputy Director Bob Azar. In my mind, he is one of the best land use professionals in this state, and we are lucky to have him. I know that like everything else that he touches, we are in a better place with this plan because of his intimate involvement. Thank you to Director Joe Mulligan for his guidance and leadership. Thank you to Alexis Thompson, our zoning official, with deep knowledge and sage advice at the ready. Megan DeSanto and Sharon Garner in the law department, always keeping us in our lane, or at least trying to. And the countless others that worked on this in one way or another. There are too many to name. When we started this process, we knew it would be a transformational plan, one that was ambitious and geared toward producing more housing, allowing development guidelines to be more predictable, and overall aligning with the time we find ourselves in. We couldn't have asked for a better leader than Mayor Smiley when it came to this. He actually read and commented on each draft that were produced. He supported us when we had bold ideas, and he was pragmatic when we needed to ensure that we had a document that actually worked for our city. Thank you, Mayor, for your thoughtfulness and attention in this process. And thank you to the City Council President, Rachel Miller, who shepherded this through the City Council and allowed further dialogue and discussion that led to the plan that we have here today. There were more meetings than I thought would occur after so many public meetings had already been held. And I think I agree with everyone here that it's a better document having had them. It feels appropriate that the plan was approved yesterday. Yesterday happened to be my birthday. And to be honest, after the amount of time and effort we've all spent on this, I feel this is one of the best presents I could ask for it to all be a final day for us to be here today and celebrate it. Thank you all again. It's been a pleasure to work with you all on this.
Thank you, Michael. Next, I'd like to invite our host for today, the Executive Director of the WBNA, Siobhan Callahan. Siobhan, as Rachel pointed out, has led arguably the most active neighborhood association, certainly through this process, and gives us the centerpiece for what an example is of what we hope to do throughout the city. Siobhan?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you to the Mayor, to the City Council, and to the Planning Department for including us today. We're so pleased to have you all here in front of Providence's first official city-sanctioned accessory dwelling unit, or ADU. This project dates back to the pandemic days when my predecessor, Kari Lang, began laying the groundwork for transforming what was a dilapidated and unused garage into both an affordable and an accessible ADU. Back then, we needed a dimensional variance to make this happen, but now it is easier than ever to get started, and that's what we do. WBNA has a long history of demonstration projects that became part of something bigger, and our hope is that this too will be a model for others to replicate. WBNA also has a long history of leading or being involved in engagement around quality of life issues faced by our neighbors and residents citywide. And so when the planning department made it clear they wanted input from as many residents as possible regarding the comprehensive plan, we jumped into gear. We put together a survey and held outreach events to help people understand the importance of the plan, because we knew that if we gathered it, that input would be taken seriously by the planning department team. The political moment in which we now find ourselves speaks to how important it is to really lean into local engagement, and the work that went into this plan is a great example of that. The planning department, Bob Azar and Tim Shea, in particular, did an enormous amount of outreach throughout the city to gather this feedback, and I think the process reflects the importance and effectiveness of building trust within our communities. Celebrating all the work that made today possible is just the beginning of a process, not the end, and we are eager to continue to work together with all of you to achieve the things that our neighbors said they want in our city. Things like lower housing costs, more green space, and infrastructure that supports pedestrians and bicyclists. So again, thank you for this opportunity to show off our ADU and celebrate the process.
Thank you, Siobhan. And then our last speaker today is the man whose head has gotten a little bit bigger over the last 5 minutes, a real celebrity for his hard work on this. I hope the cameras zoom in on Bob's tie because it is on point today. Bob only wears this tie when he finishes a new comprehensive plan, so he can tell you how many times he's worn the tie. Bob?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody. Actually, this is the first time I wore the tie. My wife got this for me not too long ago, and I was just looking for the right occasion to wear it. But this is actually the third time I've been part of developing a new comprehensive plan for the city. I can say that this has been by far the most robust, inclusive, and rewarding planning process yet. In a city as wonderfully diverse as Providence, creating a community-wide plan is a challenging undertaking. The process can only be successful if there's a sincere approach to community engagement. It's a process where we planners bring our expertise to the table, but we also listen to and learn from the many stakeholders that have an interest in making our great city a better place. We have to somehow find consensus around policies to tackle our greatest challenges. In seeking that consensus, we run the risk of sacrificing ambition, but that's not the case here. This plan is full of big and bold ideas and points toward a bright future for Providence. A sincere thank you to all from the public who participated in this process. Every voice was heard, and in one way or another is represented in this plan. I want to thank the planning and zoning staff, many of whom are here, and every one of whom participated in this effort on top of their day-to-day duties. Planning Director Joe Mulligan, who couldn't be with us today, Jess Lance, Dave Everett, Alex Ellis, Chris Martin, Rye Dickerson, Ian Collins, Chris Issei, Jason Martin, Joyan Mandrakar, Lev Simon, Darcy Charlson, Evelyn Alcantara, Darlo Duarte, Manoj Shrestha, and Nick Ciccatelli, Aaron Bradley, and Alexis Thompson. A special thanks to Tim Shea. Once again, give it up for Tim. Tim got us into every neighborhood and ward in the city. He was tireless in soliciting and synthesizing the thousands of comments we received. Providence is fortunate to have such an incredibly talented and dedicated team. So please, thank you, and give it up for the planning and zoning staff. Other departments whose participation was invaluable includes Parks, Art, Culture and Tourism, Economic Development, Housing and Human Services, Inspection and Standards, and the Law Department, Public Works, and Sustainability. Thank you all. Special thanks to the City Plan Commission. These volunteers spent hours working with us as thought partners and sounding boards and patiently listening to hours of public testimony. Chairman Michael Gazdacko was a great facilitator of the public process and helped guide us in the creation of the plan. Michael, I'm grateful for your leadership and support. I also want to recognize Noel Sanchez here and Will Sherry, also commissioners. I don't know if there's any other commissioners, but thanks to all the city plan commissioners. Thanks to the city council, especially to Council President Miller for her leadership, and Chairman Espinal for expertly taking us through a challenging but ultimately successful hearing process. Thanks to the council staff, Aaron Easter Gardner and June Rose for their partnership. And while Michael got an approved comp plan for his birthday, thanks to 5 public hearings, I got an ordinance committee approval on my birthday. Thanks to Courtney Hawkins, Emily Crowell, and Mike Napolitano in the mayor's office for their good counsel. And finally, thanks to Mayor Smiley for reading every word of every draft we sent his way and for his perceptive comments and collaboration. Every mayor is an urban planner, whether they know it or not. This mayor comprehended that from day one, and it's been a special privilege to work for someone who understands our work so well and appreciates just how important it is. Mayor, by signing this ordinance, you're declaring that this plan belongs to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Congratulations. Okay, so we're going to go to the table and make it official. I'll invite folks to stand behind me as we do so. I'll then come back to the podium. We'll take questions on the comp plan. Comp plan first. I know there's some other news going on in the world today. So after we handle all the comp plan questions, then I'll stick around, council people as well, to answer any other questions. All right? Thank you.
No, it's great.
One chair only, Bob. Tim, come on this side. Come on. Right here.
No, please.
Yes.
You deserve it.
Got everyone in place? We're all here. Anybody know the date? 22nd. All right. It's official. All right. 10 years. Next person could be the next.